The world is on the brink of a new era of espionage. A new superpower is flexing its muscles. China, with its growing economic might and global ambitions, is aggressively expanding its espionage activities. This is not the Cold War with its shadowy spies and double agents. This is something new, something more pervasive, something more dangerous. China's espionage is not just about stealing secrets, it's about gaining an advantage, it's about undermining rivals. It's about shaping the global order to suit its interests. From the halls of government to the research labs of universities, China's spies are everywhere. They are stealing intellectual property, they are gathering political intelligence, they are subverting democracy itself. This is a wake-up call. The world must recognize the threat posed by China's espionage. We must act now to defend our values, our interests, and our way of life. The stakes are simply too high to ignore. The future of the world may depend on it. China's espionage apparatus is vast and sophisticated. It dwarfs that of most other nations. At its heart is the Ministry of State Security. This is China's main intelligence agency. It is responsible for foreign intelligence, counterintelligence, and political security. The Ministry of State Security is a powerful and secretive organization. It operates with little oversight or accountability. But the Ministry of State Security is not alone. The People's Liberation Army also plays a key role in China's espionage. The People's Liberation Army has a long history of intelligence gathering. It sees espionage as an integral part of modern warfare. The People's Liberation Army's intelligence activities are particularly focused on foreign technology and military capabilities. China also relies heavily on non-traditional actors for espionage. These include students, academics, business people, and even tourists. These individuals are often recruited or co-opted into providing information or access to sensitive targets. China's use of non-traditional collectors makes its espionage activities particularly difficult to detect and counter. No country is immune from China's espionage. From the United States to Europe, from Asia to Africa, China targets governments, businesses, and individuals, driven by a desire for foreign technology and global power. The United States is China's top espionage target. China sees the US as its main rival, interested in American military technology and economic secrets. But China's espionage is a global problem, a threat to global security and stability. The world must address this growing challenge. One of the most effective and insidious methods used by Chinese intelligence is the honey trap. This involves using attractive individuals, often female, to seduce targets and blackmail them into providing information. The targets of honey traps can be anyone with access to valuable information, such as government officials, military personnel, or business executives. The honey trap is a classic espionage tactic, but China has refined it to a high degree. Chinese intelligence operatives are skilled at identifying and exploiting vulnerabilities in their targets. They use flattery, gifts, and promises of romance to gain their trust. Once the target is compromised, they use threats or blackmail to extract information. Honey traps can have devastating consequences for their victims. They can ruin careers, destroy families, and even lead to suicide. In some cases, targets have been blackmailed into becoming double agents for China. The honey trap is a reminder that espionage is not a game, it is a dangerous and ruthless business. Section 5, the cyber dragon hacking its way to dominance. China is a cyber superpower. It has invested heavily in developing its cyber capabilities. China uses these capabilities for espionage, censorship, and military operations. Cyber espionage is low risk and high reward. Chinese hackers are among the most sophisticated, linked to high-profile cyber attacks, including theft of millions of records. China's cyber espionage threatens global security and economic stability. Section 6. Economic espionage, stealing the future. China's economic rise has been nothing short of remarkable. In just a few decades, China has transformed itself from a poor agrarian society into a global economic powerhouse. But China's economic miracle has come at a price. China has been accused of cheating its way to the top. One of the key ways China has achieved its economic success is through economic espionage. China has engaged in a systematic campaign to steal trade secrets, intellectual property, and other sensitive information from foreign companies and governments. This economic espionage has given Chinese companies an unfair advantage in the global marketplace. The targets of China's economic espionage are diverse. They include companies in a wide range of industries, from technology and aerospace to energy and finance. China's economic espionage has had a devastating impact on foreign businesses. It has cost them billions of dollars in lost sales and stolen intellectual property. Section 7, Academic Espionage, infiltrating the ivory tower. China's espionage activities are not limited to the government and corporate worlds. China is also targeting academia. Chinese intelligence agencies are actively recruiting students, professors, and researchers to gather information and conduct espionage. They are particularly interested in research with military or commercial applications. China's academic espionage takes many forms. Chinese intelligence agencies offer grants and scholarships to foreign students and researchers. They sponsor conferences and exchange programs. They even plant spies in universities and research institutions. The goal is always the same: to steal valuable information and technology. China's academic espionage has raised serious concerns about academic freedom and national security. Some universities and research institutions have taken steps to counter the threat, but more needs to be done. The academic community must be vigilant in protecting its research and intellectual property. Section 8, the case of Australia, a nation under siege. Australia is a case study in China's brazen espionage. China sees Australia as a strategic asset. It is a major supplier of raw materials and a key ally of the United States. China has been accused of interfering in Australian politics, stealing Australian secrets, and conducting cyber attacks against Australian businesses and government agencies. Australia has been particularly vocal in its criticism of China's espionage activities. In recent years, Australia has taken a number of steps to counter the threat, including passing new laws to protect critical infrastructure and banning Chinese tech giant Huawei from its 5G network. These actions have strained relations between the two countries. The case of Australia is a warning to the world. China's espionage activities are a serious threat to national security and sovereignty. Countries that fail to take steps to protect themselves risk becoming victims of China's espionage. The world must wake up to the threat posed by China. Section 9, the global response, pushing back against the dragon. The world is finally waking up to the threat posed by China's espionage. Governments, businesses, and individuals are beginning to take steps to protect themselves. But more needs to be done. The fight against China's espionage will be a long and difficult one. The United States has been at the forefront of the effort to counter China's espionage. The US has increased funding for counterintelligence activities. It has also imposed sanctions on Chinese individuals and entities involved in espionage. The US has also worked to strengthen alliances and partnerships with other countries to share intelligence and coordinate responses. But the US cannot do it alone. Countering China's espionage requires a global effort. Countries around the world must work together to share intelligence, strengthen their defenses, and hold China accountable for its actions. This includes working with allies and partners to impose costs on China for its espionage activities. Section 10. The future of espionage. A new Cold War. The world is entering a new era of great power competition. China's rise is reshaping the global order. The rules-based international system that has governed the world for decades is under strain. In this new era, espionage will play an even more important role. China's espionage activities are a major challenge to the existing world order. They undermine trust between nations and make it more difficult to address global challenges. The world must find a way to manage this competition without jeopardizing peace and security. The future of espionage is uncertain, but one thing is clear: espionage is here to stay. It will continue to be a tool of statecraft. It will continue to shape the course of history. The world must be prepared to deal with the challenges posed by espionage in the 21st century. Section 11. A world on edge. The world is a dangerous place. The threat of espionage is real and growing. China's actions have consequences. The world is watching. The stakes are high. The future is uncertain. We must be vigilant. We must be prepared. The time to act is now.